Have you ever stopped to think that the time you go to bed could actually transform your health? That it might improve your memory, strengthen your heart, and recharge your energy within just a few weeks? It might sound almost too easy. But what if the fatigue, forgetfulness, or grogginess you've been feeling despite getting a full night's sleep has less to do with age and more to do with your bedtime? If you're in your 70s or caring for someone who is, what you're about to learn could completely shift how you view sleep and, more importantly, how you approach aging. As someone who's worked in sleep medicine for over 2 decades, I've seen how one small change in bedtime can lead to profound improvements. Many older adults I've worked with went from sleepless nights and low energy to waking up refreshed, mentally focused, and emotionally grounded. And the best part? They didn't need to buy costly supplements, try complicated routines, or rely on medication. They just went to bed earlier. In this video, you'll discover what researchers from top institutions like Harvard, the Mayo Clinic, and Johns Hopkins are now saying about sleep timing for seniors and why the golden hour for going to bed could be the missing piece to better rest and better health. The truth is, after age 70, your body's internal clock goes through significant shifts, but most people don't realize this. And when they continue going to bed too late or stick to their old sleep habits, they unknowingly make rest more difficult and risk their cognitive and physical well-being. The good news? Once you begin aligning your routine with your body's natural changes, everything starts to improve. In just a few minutes, I'll walk you through the key findings about how aging affects sleep, how hormones like melatonin behave differently after 70, and why adjusting your bedtime could be one of the most important health decisions you make this year. I'll also share stories from real people in their 70s and 80s who made this single adjustment and saw incredible improvements in just weeks. So if you've been dealing with restless nights, low energy, or memory issues, or if you simply want to grow older with more clarity, resilience, and calm, this may be the most important video you watch all year. If you're finding this helpful, I encourage you to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss valuable updates on senior wellness. And I'd truly love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Have you noticed changes in your sleep patterns over the years? Share your experience below. Now, let's dive into what the science says about sleep after 70, and why going to bed at the right time might be the most overlooked health habit you need to know. Maybe you find yourself dozing off during your favorite evening show, only to wake up in the middle of the night wide awake at 2 a.m., staring at the ceiling. Or perhaps you're still getting a full 7 or 8 hours of sleep, but somehow wake up feeling like you haven't rested at all. If that sounds familiar, please don't blame yourself. It's not because you're doing something wrong, and it's certainly not just because you're aging. What's actually happening is that your body is going through natural changes and your sleep patterns are adjusting to keep up. After the age of 70, something subtle but significant starts happening in the brain. We begin to lose a key stage of sleep called deep sleep. This is the phase responsible for repairing tissue, refreshing your mind, and recharging your energy. Research shows that by the time we hit our 70s, we may be getting up to 40% less deep sleep than we did in our 50s. That's no small shift. It means your body might be asleep, but not truly restoring itself the way it used to. That's why so many older adults wake up still feeling exhausted, mentally foggy, or emotionally flat after a full night in bed. But there's more to it. As we grow older, our production of melatonin, the hormone that makes us feel sleepy, starts to happen earlier in the day. So if you're feeling sleepy around 8 o'clock or 8:30 in the evening, that's not random. It's your biology nudging you toward rest. Yet many people dismiss it, telling themselves it's too early, and stay up with television shows, emails, snacks, or out of habit. But here's the real story. That early wave of drowsiness isn't something to fight, it's something to trust. It's your body's way of showing you the path to better sleep. And when we ignore that signal, rest becomes elusive. I'll never forget one of my longtime patients, Edward, who visited me one crisp autumn afternoon. He was 70, a retired history teacher with a kind heart and a quick wit. Sitting across from me, he sighed and said, "Doc, I've always gone to bed around 11, but now I just toss and turn. When I do sleep, I wake up feeling worse. What's going on?" We had a long talk. A few basic tests later, the answer was clear. Edward's internal clock had shifted. His brain was releasing melatonin earlier, but his bedtime hadn't changed. He was staying up far too late to get the quality sleep his body now needed. I gave him one simple suggestion. Try heading to bed at 9:30 p.m. every night for 3 weeks. No television, no reading into the night. Just listen to his body. He laughed. That early? I nodded and said, give it a try. 3 weeks later, Edward came back to my office with a completely different presence. He walked in standing tall, with brighter eyes and a smile that told me everything. Then he said something I'll never forget. It's like someone switched my brain back on. His sleep had improved dramatically. He was waking up with more mental clarity, and had even started taking his morning walks again, something he hadn't felt up to in a long while. What happened with Edward isn't rare. Older adults across the country are still trying to follow routines from decades ago, unaware that their bodies have shifted and are asking for something different. Sleep in your 70s isn't broken, it's just working on a new schedule. Your body still wants to recharge, heal, and recover. It just needs you to meet it where it is now. The good news? Once you recognize these changes, you can begin to honor them. Instead of resisting sleep, you begin to work with it, and that's when deep, refreshing rest returns. Let's talk about a concept that could transform your nights. Why going to bed between 9 o'clock and 10 p.m. may be the key to better sleep after 70. It's something few doctors talk about. But the hour you choose to go to bed can be just as important as the number of hours you sleep. If you're someone who stays up past 10 to squeeze in a favorite show, a phone call, or a little extra downtime, only to wake up feeling sluggish and foggy, you're not alone. But here's what's compelling. A 2024 study by the Mayo Clinic found that seniors who consistently went to bed between 9 and 10 p.m. experienced a 45% improvement in sleep quality. This wasn't a minor improvement or a placebo effect, it was a significant, measurable boost. People slept more deeply, woke up less often during the night, and felt noticeably more energized the next day. Why such a big shift? It has to do with how our internal clock evolves over time. As we age, melatonin, the hormone that signals sleep, and cortisol, the hormone that signals wakefulness, start shifting earlier. Where you may have naturally felt sleepy around 10:30 or 11 o'clock in your 40s or 50s, your body in your 70s may be signaling rest as early as 8:30 p.m. That early evening fatigue isn't something to brush off, it's your body speaking clearly. Yet many people try to push through it, expecting a second wind that never quite arrives. And they end up wondering why sleep feels harder than ever. I remember one woman, Dorothy, age 76, who came to see me after battling insomnia for 4 decades. She had tried every remedy under the sun: melatonin, herbal infusions, white noise, prescription meds. Nothing worked. One quiet evening in my office, Dorothy sat across from me and sighed. I've gone to bed at midnight since I was a teen. I don't think I even know how to fall asleep earlier. I gently shared what we've come to understand, that her body's rhythm had shifted. And perhaps all she needed was to stop pushing against time and start flowing with it. She agreed to try something new. Be in bed by 9:30 p.m. every night for 3 weeks. And that's when everything changed. She came back with tears in her eyes and whispered, "Doctor, I finally sleep through the whole night." Her daytime fatigue disappeared, her spirits lifted, and even her memory, once cloudy, began to brighten. It all came from one simple decision: honoring her body's new rhythm. Dorothy's experience is echoed by many others. In our clinic's 6-month survey of 500 seniors who adopted this same 9 o'clock, 10 p.m. sleep schedule, the results were remarkable. 8 out of 10 reported falling asleep more easily. 3/4 woke up fewer times during the night. And 7 out of 10 felt more energized and emotionally balanced by morning. This isn't wishful thinking, it's the power of biology aligned with self-care. If your body is nudging you to sleep earlier than it used to, don't ignore it. That early evening drowsiness isn't a flaw, it's a sign of wisdom. And 10 p.m.? For many seniors, that's not too early. It's exactly right. If this message hits home or reminds you of someone you love, I encourage you to leave a comment. Just type the word HOPE to show you believe in the potential of small changes and the truth that it's never too late to care for your health or help someone you cherish. Sometimes, a single word can spark a new beginning. Now, let's explore the healing power of sleep and 3 profound health benefits that come from simply going to bed on time. When we talk about sleep, we often think of it as downtime, a break from the demands of daily life. But for those of us in our later decades, sleep is far more than rest. It's a process of repair and rejuvenation. And when we align it with our body's natural rhythm, it becomes a powerful force for protecting our well-being. Let's start with the heart, that quiet engine working around the clock. At our clinic, we've observed the connection between bedtime habits and cardiovascular health for years, and the data is compelling. Seniors who consistently went to bed between 9 and 10 p.m. experienced a 45% drop in heart-related issues. That's not a small shift, it's a transformation. Blood pressure stabilized. Irregular rhythms became less common. And several individuals, under their doctor's guidance, were even able to lower or stop certain medications. One patient shared with me, "I didn't realize how tired my heart had become until it finally started beating with ease again." But it's not just your heart that benefits from embracing an earlier bedtime. Your memory, that quiet keeper of your stories and connections, can be renewed too. I once worked with a couple, Edward and Eleanor, both in their mid-70s, who came to me worried about forgetfulness, missed appointments, repeated questions, and a fog they couldn't shake even after sleeping in. Their concern was real and deeply human. But after committing to a steady 9:30 p.m. bedtime, everything shifted. Within just 3 months, they showed a 32% improvement in memory function, supported by simple cognition tests. Eleanor stopped missing her medication. Edward returned to his beloved morning crossword puzzle sand this time. He completed them with ease. Smiling, he told me, "It feels like someone turned the lights back on." Modern science now backs what we witnessed. Going to sleep earlier gives your brain precious time to flush out toxins, those same toxins that have been linked to memory loss, cognitive decline, and even Alzheimer's, and perhaps even more heartening, early sleep has a profound effect on emotional balance. In our clinic's latest study, patients who maintained a consistent 9 o'clock, 10 p.m. bedtime reported a 58% drop in symptoms of anxiety and depression. That's not just an improvement in mood, it's a return to feeling grounded. Starting each day with clarity and calm, during those earlier nighttime hours, the brain engages in a deep emotional reset, washing away not just physical strain, but mental stress too. It's like drawing a warm bath for the mind after a long day. And if you're living with diabetes or keeping an eye on your blood sugar, here's another important reason to shift your bedtime. Those who adopted earlier sleep schedules consistently showed more stable overnight glucose readings. Several even managed, under medical supervision, to reduce their insulin doses. So if you've ever wondered whether something as simple as going to bed earlier could make a real difference, the answer is yes. 1,000 times yes. Because sleep isn't just rest, it's healing. And when it happens at the right time, it becomes one of the most powerful forms of medicine. Next, let's explore 5 small but mighty habits that can help restore the kind of sleep you may have thought was gone for good. You don't need fancy supplements, rigid routines, or hours of effort. Just consistent, gentle actions can bring back deep and peaceful rest. I've recommended these steps to countless patients, and many now enjoy the best sleep they've had in years. That feeling of drowsiness early in the evening? It's not a flaw, it's your body's wisdom. Turning in between 9 o'clock and 10 p.m. aligns with the natural rhythm that age, hormones, and your internal clock have quietly reshaped over time. When you respect that timing, you allow your body to fall into deeper, more healing rest. It's like catching the perfect wave, letting it gently carry you toward real renewal. Second, cut back on caffeine and rich foods at night. You might be surprised to learn that caffeine can linger in your body for up to 6 hours. That afternoon coffee at 3 p.m. might still be keeping you wired when you're trying to sleep at 9:30. Even a small bite of chocolate or a late green tea can disrupt your rest. Heavy evening meals can have the same effect. Rich or greasy foods force your digestive system to keep working when the rest of you is trying to wind down. Aim to finish dinner at least 3 hours before bed, and if you're hungry later, go for a light, calming snack like half a banana, a few almonds, or a warm caffeine-free drink. Third, lower the lights and let your body ease into nighttime mode. Our ancestors went to bed with the sunset, and though we live in a world of artificial light, our brains still follow nature's cues. Bright, cool-toned light from screens or strong overhead bulbs sends a wake-up signal to your brain. Soft, warm lighting, on the other hand, helps you relax. Try dimming the lights around 7:30 or 8 p.m. and use a lamp with a gentle amber hue. You might notice your eyelids starting to droop without even trying. Fourth, give yourself a peaceful wind-down ritual. Think of how children are eased into sleep with baths, stories, or lullabies. Adults need the same grace. Spend 20 to 30 minutes before bed doing something that soothes you, reading a favorite book, listening to calming music, stretching gently, or simply sitting under a cozy blanket with your thoughts. Steer clear of the evening news, stressful planning, or intense conversations. This is your time to slow down. Fifth, and perhaps most challenging, is to set aside your screens. Try stepping away from your phone, tablet, or television at least 30 to 60 minutes before bedtime. The blue light from these devices blocks melatonin, the hormone your body needs to feel sleepy. Even casual scrolling through news or social media can overstimulate your mind and leave you restless. Instead, welcome quiet. Let the day fade naturally. Sleep isn't something we chase, it's something we allow. As the years pass, one thing becomes beautifully clear. It doesn't take a big change to create a big impact. Small shifts made gently and consistently can lead to the most powerful healing. Sometimes, the most profound healing starts with a simple step, a quiet choice to finally listen to what your body has been gently trying to say. So tonight, as the house settles into stillness and the evening shadows stretch across the walls, I encourage you to pause. Don't rush. Don't push through the tiredness. Instead, see it for what it truly is. Your body's way of saying, "You've done enough today. Now it's time to rest." At this season of life, sleep isn't about staying ahead, it's about returning to yourself. Returning to your natural pace, your inner rhythms, and the deep care your heart and mind truly need. And here's something I hope you remember. It's never too late to feel better. Healing doesn't follow a calendar. There is still time filled with quiet, grace, and meaning for your body to restore, for your mind to find clarity, and for your spirit to exhale. If what you heard today gave you something new to think about or made you think of someone who could use better rest, I'd be honored if you liked this video. Subscribe to our channel and tap the notification bell. That's how we keep growing this warm, supportive space together. And if this message resonated with you, I'd love for you to do something simple yet powerful. Type the word hope in the comments. Not just for yourself, but for someone you love. Because sometimes, a single word is all it takes to remind us we're not walking this path alone. Thank you for being here with me today. May tonight bring you true rest, and may tomorrow meet you with gentle strength. Until next time, sleep well.